Hello. This is a story that I made because I've heard all the My Little Dashies and I love them. And I like to write fan fiction, so basically this is just kind of a tribute to how much I love them. So please don't hate it just because it was inspired, just because it's like that. And there's very few like that, because only very few things are in it that are in My Little Dashie. It's really different. Trust me. You'll understand once you've heard it. It's a whole lot different. Anyway, let's get started. My Little Abelishis. I was going to Walmart like usual with my mom. We stepped out of the car and walked into the store to buy some groceries. Then we went home. The next day, I was just walking around my yard. When I got to the ditch, I noticed something. A small cardboard box was in it. Just a plain cardboard box that said nothing. I wouldn't have paid it any attention and just left it there, but it wasn't usual to see one in our ditch, so I walked over to the edge of the ditch and pulled the box out. When I opened it, my jaw dropped. There in front of me was a pony. Not a real pony, but a My Little Pony pony. I was about to close it when my knee accidentally hit the box as I moved to close it. It's a little black coated with red fur that stops a little above his knees, pink and red maned coat with a feminine face and a cat-like tail up in his pink eyes, and looked up at me. It was so beyond adorable that my heart exploded too many times to even count. I nearly had a heart attack from adorableness. I quickly closed the box and ran into my home and to my room and slammed my door shut. I set the box on my bed and opened it. The little colt looks at me scared. I slowly put my hand on his head and pet him. He smiles and closes his eyes. I say, "It's okay. You can come out. I won't hurt you, see? Would you like something to eat?" The little colt nods. I say, "Okay," and run out of my room into the kitchen counter and grab a banana and run back to my room. I peel the banana and hand it to him. I watch him try to hold it down with his hooves and nibble on top of it. I can't help but smile and feel my heart explode a million times again from the cuteness. He just got here and I already love him. He's so adorable. I walk over to my laptop that's on my black table and sit down and cut it on. While I wait for it to, I sit back and watch him nibble on the banana. I smiled and put my password into my laptop and watch it fully cut on. And I look up how to potty train a pony and a whole lot more stuff that I'll need. Of course, I won't find how to teach a pony how to talk or write and read, but I'll find what I can. My fingers danced across my keyboard for months as I used it to teach him how to walk, use the bathroom, and much more. After I've taught him all that my laptop can help me teach him, I move on to teaching him how to talk, write, read, and much more. Nearly every day I have to tell him to run into my closet because my sister or mom or dad is coming to my room. My mom used to say my room used to stay a mess all the time, but ever since he showed up, I kept it clean for him. My mom and everyone else in my house have noticed my new habits that keep my room clean. They're suspicious of lying, but I'll never let them find out. We sing outside into the backyard nearly every day and play games like tag, hide and seek, catch, and I even found a way for him to play basketball with me. He dribbles it with his tail and uses his head to send it at the goal. We have a blast, growing closer every day as I raise him like a son. At night he sneaks into my bed and snuggles into me and says, "Good night, Daddy. I love you." I smile and say, "Good night, Abel. I love you too." But there was one lesson that I should have stressed more. I should have made sure that he listened. He blames himself, but I know the true culprit for it happening. Me. His parent. How could I have been so stupid? We were outside in the front yard just sending a kickball back and forth to each other. My mom and dad weren't home, and my sister was sleeping, so there was no worry of him getting caught, and any cars that drove by never look at our yard. They just keep looking forward and drive. On this day, Abel had just turned 6 2 days ago. For his birthday present, I got him a huge surprise that I knew he'd love. I've been saving up for since he was 5. I had to take out some huge loans also and steal some money from my parents, but I got it for him. A special-made laptop that is designed for a pony to be able to work it. He loved it and immediately got on and found websites like IMVU and Skype. Made so many friends on both in just a few days. It's amazing. As we played with the kickball, it would try to do a trick, but as soon as the kickball into the road, he ran after it. My eyes went wide when I saw a car coming, and he was halfway onto the road. I screamed, "No!" I ran faster than I ever have in my whole life. The speed I went at even surprised me, not that I had a whole lot of time to think about it. The car honked its horn, and Abel looked at it, his eyes wide and full of fear. He froze. "No!" I screamed. I jumped over the ditch and ran my arms around Abel and curled up around him. I didn't have time to do anything else. The car went over us. It didn't have time to dodge us. After it ran me over, I heard its wheels screech as it halted to a stop. The driver got out and said, "Oh my God!" He ran to me and said, "Are you okay?" His voice echoes in my head, and everything is blurry. Abel looks up at me with worried and scared eyes. I can't let anyone find out about him. Who knows what they would do? I hide Abel in my arms and slowly force myself to my shaking knees. The driver says, "I think you better lay back down. We got to get you to a hospital." His voice echoes through my barely conscious head. I slowly shake my head no and force my legs to take me back onto my yard. The driver says, "But sir!" I just keep walking, stumbling as I go. I can hear myself already breathing hard, and I'm barely up the yard. I fall to my knees a few times, but I make it. Abel never takes his eyes off my face. The worry and fear in his eyes grows and never leaves either. I finally reach my room and slowly close the door shut and then fall to my knees. My arms unravel from Abel, and he falls onto the floor. He looks up at me and says, "Daddy?" Everything starts spinning. I can't fight it anymore. I fall over. "Daddy! Daddy! Daddy! Daddy, wake up!" Abel's voice echoes through my head as everything goes black, and then I can't hear him anymore. I was dead. I lay there in front of my little Abelishis dead, unresponsive, cold, my eyes closed, and a smile on my face because I knew that he was safe. I was dead for 10 hours, they told me. I woke up in the hospital. Apparently my sister found me in my room and barely any time was left to save me. They told me I was more than lucky to come back, and with all the time that had gone by. I just nodded at them and looked down at my white cover and thanked them for saving my life. They nodded and left the room. All I could think about was what I must have put my little Abelishis through. First seeing me getting ran over, then seeing me dying, and then being there, looking at my dead body. Tears run down my cheeks, and I say, "I'm so sorry, Abelishis. I'm so sorry." Over and over as I break down crying. My mother comes into the room. "Get out!" I shout. "Get the hell out!" I shout even louder. She wants to say something about my language, but instead just leaves. I continue to cry. I nearly lost the one thing that I love the most. My son. My little Abelishis, and what I put him through and the pain that he must have felt. I punch my legs out of anger as I cry more. "You're such a goddamn failure. You're not a father. How dare you live?" "How dare you?" My fist stops as I cry so hard that I can't breathe. My mom walks back in. "Get the motherfucking out! Leave me alone!" She does again, but with more anger in her eyes from my language. I don't care. Days go by as they monitor me, make sure I'll be alright. Apparently my knee was really close to being broken. They said one reason that I lost consciousness was because of the shearing pain that had been going through my body as I walked on it to get back to my room. Mom and the rest of my family, of course, want to know why I wanted back to my room so badly. Abel must have hidden when he heard Amanda coming. I smile and think, good boy Abel. I finally get to go home. After what seems like eternity, I had to use crutches to my leg heels, but I'll be alright. I hurry up the stairs and the fastest I can and enter the house and go to my room, nearly dropping my crutches on the way. There, I turn the knob on my door and kick it open and go into my room and use my crutch to close my door back. I look around and say, Abel! It's me! I'm back! Abel? My heart starts to race. He's always answered me when I call him. I rush over to my old TV stand where he would hide sometimes when people showed up, but he's not there. I open the closet, but he's not there either. My heart races faster, and I yell, Abel! Abel, answer me, please! I tear my room apart, but he isn't there. My door opens, and my mom says, What are you doing in here? I push her out of my way and go outside to the backyard and yell, Abel! Answer me, please! Abel! My Little Abelishis! Tears run down my cheeks, and I say, Please, don't leave me. I drop my crutches and fall to my knees, crying, Don't leave me, please. Abel. I say, Daddy? A voice says. I look up and say, Abel? I pull him into a hug and tears go down both our faces. I say, My Abel, my little Abelishis, don't scare me like that. Abel says, Daddy, you're not right. Don't scare me like that. I say, I won't. Not ever again. I'm sorry. Abel cries into my chest and says, I'm so sorry, Daddy. I'm so sorry. I got you killed. I hold him tight and say, No, you didn't. Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare think that. You are not responsible for what happened to me. Got that? Abel says, But. I say, Got that. Abel says, Got it, Daddy. I say, Good. I hold him tighter and say, Oh, I love you so much. Abel says, I love you too, Daddy. My mom stands behind us. She walks back into the house. She won't dare say anything right now, but she will later. Soon, my little Abelishis is 18, all grown up, and I'm 36 years old, and got my own house. Abel walks through it freely and loves it. He finally has his own house. He acts strange when I have girlfriends, almost jealous. I never keep them though, because I know they wouldn't accept Abel like I do. But it's good to be with someone every once in a while. Abel has adjusted to Earth life quite well. He watches TV and runs on a treadmill to keep his figure, and eats healthy, but does dessert every now and then. But hey, I didn't see nothing. I asked Abel once if he was lonely. He said, No, Daddy, I have you. I smiled and said, No, Abel, that's not what I mean. Are you lonely? As in, Abel says, Oh, sometimes. He looks at the floor. I am down in front of him and lift his chin and make him look into my eyes and say, I know it's hard, but as long as we have each other, we'll be fine. Okay? He's blushing for some reason. I slowly move my hand down to his chest. He blushes more. I lean in towards him. He blushes deeply, as our lips are only a few inches from each other. I stand up and think, Now I get it. I say, Abel, we need to talk. Come on. He says, Oh, okay. And follows me upstairs to his room. I sit down on his bed so he'll be eye level and say, Do you like me? Abel blushes deeply and looks away. I say, Please tell me. You know you can tell me anything. Please. Abel says, Yes. I had to really listen, but I hear it. I look at the pony that I raised. His feminine face, slender figure, says he's got like red fur on his legs. That one sexy pink strand of hair that hangs down behind his beautiful, seductive pink eyes. I can't help but feel my dick rise in my pants. I have PJs on, so it's pretty obvious, too, and Abel notices and blushes even deeper and smiles. I blush, too, and say, I'm about to stand up to leave, but instead, my arm gives a mind of its own and pulls Abel closer, and my other arm turns his head, and I kiss him. Both of us are blushing deeply now. He moans from the kissing. I can see his tail moving faster. I can help myself. I pull him onto the bed, and we start making out. I push my pants down, and Abel pushes them the rest of the way with his hooves. I get my socks off, and Abel pulls my shirt off, his shiny, black, soft, silky fur touching my naked skin. I can't help but moan as my hormones rise and my dick stiffens even more. Mine and Abel's dicks touch each other. The next day, I slowly open my eyes and stretch, then look at Abel and smile. His eyes flutter open and he smiles at me and says, "Good morning, Dundee." I say, "Good morning, Abelishis." He kisses then fades away from the world as we can't stop kissing. Later, I hear Abel upstairs say, "Yes, I just got another friend on IMVU." He runs down the stairs to me and says, "They made 60,000 friends. Woohoo!" I look at his flank and say, "Nice cutie mark." Abel says, "What?" He looks at his flank and lights up and says, I got my cutie mark. Woo! I smile and say, "A heart. How beautiful." Abel blushes and says, "Thank you, but what does this mean my social talent is?" I smile even more and say, "Making friends. Being liked." Abel giggles and says, "Cool." Days go by of me and Abel doing all kinds of things, including transforming the house with our tastes. In my room, I say, "Job, my little Abelishis. The room looks amazing." Abel smiles and says, "Thanks, but I didn't do it alone." I smile and say, "I know." I walk over to the two babies that me and Abel adopted. They're so cute. I say, "Hello, Dumbbell. Hello, Stormy. I love you." Abel walks up and says, "I love you both too." I kiss Abelishis and say, "I love you most of all." Abel smiles and says, "I love you too." I say, "I wonder who that could be." "I'll get it." Abel says, "Okay." I walk downstairs and open the door and my heart stops. Right in front of me is Princess Celestia and Twilight. Princess Celestia says, "Well, aren't you going to invite us in?" I say, yeah, come right in." They walk in. I close the door and say, "Why are you here?" Princess Celestia says, "You know why." My entire body goes numb, and I say, "No, no, please, please, no." Princess Celestia says, "I'm sorry, but he has parents and other family that want him back. They miss him very much, and do you really think he's happy here? No other pony of his kind, no friends, nothing but you, and one person isn't enough. You must know that. Don't force him to be here. Don't take him from his family and his home, his own kind." Tears go down my face, and I say, "I understand. I can't be selfish." I close my eyes tight, tears pouring out, and I say, "Abel, get down here." Abel comes down the stairs and stops when he sees Princess Celestia and Twilight and says, "Dundee, what's going on?" I clench my hands into fists as I fight to hold back tears, and I say, "They're here to take you home, back to your real family, your real kind. They miss you." Abel says, "You're my family, Dundee. You raised me and our kids." Twilight says, "Kids?" I say, "I know, but I can't be selfish." Abel says, "Selfish? What are you talking about? We love each other. Wanting me to stay is not being selfish. I want to stay here with you, Dundee." Tears go down his cheeks, and he says, "Please." Celestia says, "Twilight." She walks towards Abel, her horn glowing. Abel backs away and says, "Stay away from me, Dundee." Cecilia says he'll be happy to have his family back once his memories are restored. Thank you, Mr. I say. Chastain. Cecilia says, thank you, Mr. Chastain. Tears flow down Abel's cheeks, and he says, Dundee, please, fight for me. I thought you loved me. Before I can think, I've knocked Twilight to the ground. Cecilia looks at me in shock. I say, you won't take him. He's the pony I love, and you can't have him. Abel smiles and says, I knew you wouldn't let me go. Cecilia's horn glows, and I'm rotated up against the wall and held there. I struggle, but I can't break free. Abel says, Dundee! Cecilia says, don't worry, I'll be alright. Twilight, are you okay? Twilight stands up and says, yeah, I'm okay. Cecilia says, good. Let's get him home. Twilight says, right. Abel says, no! Get away from me! I struggle more and more, trying to break free, but the spell just won't let go. Don't touch him! I scream. Abel pulls backs up into the stair rail, and Twilight's horn reaches his forehead. I scream, no! Ah! Bright flash goes out, and I fall to the ground. Abelishis! I scream. When it clears, they're gone. I say, no. I run up the stairs to the baby's room, but it's the bathroom. Mine and Abel's kids are gone. I scream and grab the doorway tightly as my chest hurts and pain sears through my body. I run through the house, hoping to find something, anything, that will mean that he's not gone. But I find nothing but a picture of him and me together. I clutch it tightly, and I fall to my knees crying and screaming at the same time. The pain is too much. My little Abelishis is gone. The one I love has been taken from me. I failed him once again. 3 days go by of me just sitting in the dark, drinking and staring up at the ceiling. That cute, adorable day when I first found him comes into my head. When I handed him that banana, and he held it down with his hooves and nibbled on top of it. Time that we played basketball together. Our first kiss and sex. When we adopted our kids, holding him at night. His beautiful pink eyes and his cute giggle. He'd even call me Dundee because of my OC. He knew everything about me. I set my empty beer on the coffee table and dragged myself upstairs to the bathroom. I've gone to see therapists about my depression, but they say time will heal. I open a drawer and pull a pistol out, but the pain just gets more real. I point it to my head. Sometimes the road just ends. It changes everything that you've ever been. I'm supposed to be strong. I'm supposed to find a way to carry on, but I can't. I just can't. He doesn't even remember me, thanks to Twilight. He doesn't remember anything. Tears flow down my cheeks. Goodbye, my little Abelishis. I'm sorry. I pull out the one thing that Celestia let me keep of me and Abelishis. The picture of us together. I lay it on the sink with a note wrapped around it. I close my eyes. How can you live when the one thing that you can't live without is taken from you? The gun goes off. You can't. The end. And that is My Little Abelishis. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.